Well, welcome back to the channel, everybody. I'm out here in my backyard in Duluth, Minnesota with a bunch of snow. As you saw in my last video, I picked up my new sled, Polaris 9R Chaos 155/. When I picked up the sled a week ago, I realized that when I ordered the sled, I ordered it with high elevation weights in it. I did that because I kind of figured that Polaris was going to have an issue getting sleds to people, which they did. And I figured I wouldn't get my sled until I was like headed out west. So I wanted it clutched to go out there. Well, it showed up 2 weeks early from when I leave. And yeah, so it wasn't clutched for here. So I can't really break it in. I don't really want to because I know the minute I hop on this thing, I'm going to want to really give her. To be on the safe side, I put it in the backyard, covered it up with my cover so I wouldn't look at it. Sanju called me this morning, the Polaris dealership in Two Harbors, and they said they got my weights in and my spring. I thought this would kind of be maybe a helpful video for some people. After calling around to some dealerships, talking to them, they said that if I want to switch to low or high elevation, and you can confirm it on your own, but they told me that I have to buy the 3 weights which are here, and also for a 9R and a boost you have to change the spring on the primary clutch. So I'm going to do a video on how to clutch this thing from my elevation, which is 0 to like 2,000 feet, over to high elevation, whatever, like 8 to 10,000 feet. So I think that's what got in it right now is 8 to 10, because that's what I'm gonna pretty much be riding out west. So yeah, so anyways, let's just get right into it. First thing you have to do, you gotta pull the side panel off, which they got these 3 clips. There's no strap anymore. They used to have straps on them, but take 3 clips, and then this side panel is worked into the hood, so you just pull just a little bit, it'll pop out. It'll kind of pivot back towards you, and then the last pivots even more. It comes right off. If you guys don't know, this is your primary clutch, this is your secondary clutch. Your primary clutch is what has the weights in it, and these little guys right here are the weights. There's 3 of them, and then this is your spring, your primary spring. So what we have to do is you have to take off these bolts and this cap, pull that off, the spring should come right out, and then we can pull this piece towards us, flop the weight, and then we undo this screw, take that out, that bolt out, and then just swap the weights right over. That's the easiest way to do it. The one thing you have to remember, if you look at this star right here, the Polaris star, see this? When you put this cover on, this cover it's like a tire and it's balanced, right? You have to put this cover on so this star is matching with this star. That has to happen. If you don't do that, you could damage the crank, because everything, the motor will be spinning off of balance then. So you have to make sure that you put that on correctly. So yeah, without further ado, let's get right into it. All right, so unless I'm forgetting something, this should be all you need. This is for the Allen, for the weights. This is a size, this is a 1/8, so that'll be for the weights. And then I grabbed a 4-inch ratchet, small extension, so you can actually get into the nut. It's on the back of the weight bolt, and then a 10 mil. We'll start with taking this cover off of the clutch, and then get the spring off there. Now, one other thing you want to be careful about is when you're doing this, when you're taking it off, that spring has pressure on this plate, so it's pushing out at you while you're taking it off. So you want to loosen all the bolts like you would a car tire. You want to bring it out kind of even, and then you leave 3 bolts in and then take 3 out completely, so that when you push this in, you can do it easier by yourself. It's still really hard to do by yourself. If you have buddies that can be there and help you with it, ideally that's the way to go. All right, so we got down to the last couple here. So here you go. So I'll push the plate in, and you just take both of them out, okay? There she's out. Alright, so just learning myself a little bit here. So once you get these screws off and the spring out, this comes off. Obviously there's a lot of tension from the springs, but you can see this, the primary spring difference here. This one's a lot taller than this one. So this was the high elevation spring, this is low. So now what has to happen is, I totally forgot about this, but we gotta take the belt off. So this little tool here comes with your sled. You should have it right in this spot. Take this out, put it in here. It's gonna open this this secondary up so the belt can get loose. Then you can get the belt off. So we're gonna do that quick. Okay, so you can see how much that spread the clutch apart there. Usually this belt rides up about like that, but it got really loose. So we can just take it right off like this. The Polaris words go towards you when you put the belt on. I don't actually know if that's something you have to do, but that's just what I do. Okay, so now this plate can slide and you can play with the weights all you want. So next we're going to take this Allen, take the 10 mil, we're going to go to each weight. You start right here. Don't lose these little nuts. You need these. There we go. A 1472. Put that aside. Grab your low elevations, 1480. Put that in. Slide your bolt back in. Put your nut back on. Tighten her back up. This weight is now done. This weight's now done. So now we're just gonna rotate, do this one, do that one, and then put the belt back on, and then get my buddies back out here, put the spring on, put the cover on, and that's it. So we'll speed her up so you guys can see. Those will all just snug up fine, and then just make sure that everything's moving good, which it is. Okay, now we'll just rotate this back. I want to be able to see that star, remember. Take the spring, grab your buddy. This is the low elevation clutch spring that I'm putting in. Had my buddy come help me, got the cover back on. So now we're gonna snug all these up, keep it going on even all the way in. Stars are lined up. We're going to snug them all up good, and then we're going to torque it. I think it's 14 foot-pounds. I got to check that, but you want to torque these bolts right. And guys use Loctite. They put on Loctite on them, and you can do what you want, but I'm going to be reclutching this again within the week, so I'm not gonna, and I think it'll be fine for the maybe 1 tank of gas I'll put through this thing this week. Okay, that's that. Grab a torque wrench. Alright, so I looked in my my service manual for the sled. Couldn't really find exactly what I was looking for foot-pounds on what to torque these bolts to. So I ended up calling a dealership, and they told me that this main bolt here, you torque this to 110 foot-pounds. I didn't touch it, so I don't have to do that. These were what I'm wondering about. So these you torque to, he said, I wrote it down here, the clutch cover torque bolts 100 inch-pounds, which is roughly 8 foot-pounds. So torque these to 8 foot-pounds, and then we'll put the belt back on and we should be ready to rip. Pretty easy job to do. It took me probably 20 minutes, half hour, kind of with help from my buddies and stuff. So yeah, now she should be ready to rip around here. I'm gonna take her out, probably take it Sunday. We'll do some riding between Sunday and Thursday, and probably have some videos up. So yeah, I'm super pumped to get on this thing. And then next Friday I take off and go out west. So by the time you're probably seeing this, I'll probably be close to headed out there or headed out there. So if you guys did like this video, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, go check out some of my fishing stuff, some of my hunting stuff, some of my other snowmobile stuff. Anyways, this is Jarrett with Northern Tactics. We'll see you, bye.